The general idea of this tool is that before we ever do anything, we always have to set the height of our guide, right? So to do that, we're gonna loosen this knob right here. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes this will slam down. So you never wanna put your wood under there while you loosen that, because it'll put a big dent in your board, and then you have to sand it forever. These two knobs back here, you never have to adjust those. Those adjust our guide wheels for the blade. So you never have to mess with these. Only this knob is what you need to loosen. And then to adjust the height, you kind of use your finger as a guide, because the goal of this machine is to keep your finger out of it. So you set the guide height just a little bit below your finger, because then I know that as I'm cutting, I can't put my finger in here with the board as well. You just turn it to the right to lock it tight, and then your guide is all set. So then I just randomly drew some random lines on here to kind of give you an idea of how to cut in here. This machine is great at cutting straight lines. It's not great at cutting curves. So anytime we need to cut a curve, we're gonna do what's called relief cuts. And that's these little cuts that I put in here already. I started an example board before y'all came. And so what these relief cuts do is it allows me to take off big chunks of this wood and then finally come back and make that curve. So to kind of see it in action, we want to be really gentle when we're making our relief cuts as we go in and out, that when we're coming back out, we're not accidentally twisting the board, because that'll put a torque on the blade, and that can snap the blade and break it. So we're trying to be as gentle as we can to this blade. Green is go, red is stop. So then, as I go in, I'm gonna start making those relief cuts, and I just stop right at my pencil line each time. Right? My fingers are far away from the blade, and I just come in and out and make all these relief cuts. And so now I have a bunch of relief cuts in this curve. I can come back to my pencil line and start cutting that curve right off. The thing that I love about this machine is that if you're off on your angle a little bit, you can back it out and say, oh, I don't like that. I'm gonna try a different angle and get it just right to where you want it to be on your pencil line. Just gotta pause it there and just kind of let you see those relief lines a little bit closer. And for this one, I was still struggling with the blade a little bit in this curve because this is pretty sharp. So I would even take more of these relief cuts off before I finally make this curve. Cool, questions on these relief cuts?